Hey designer, Alex here, welcome to the channel, and in today's video we are going to discuss why using free resources can be really bad for your career. Alright, so before we get started, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Alex. Consider subscribing. I upload new videos every single week on design, passive income techniques, motivation, and more. So if you don't want to miss content like that, make sure to subscribe and to turn on those bell notification icons so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. So why using free resources can be really bad for your career? Obviously, you're going to start using these free resources when you get started in your career, but I would always recommend as soon as you get some real good money, I really recommend you guys to purchase these premium resources. Why? Because everybody else is using these free resources. What that ends up looking like is all the designs are looking exactly the same as well as yours. So clients might end up looking angry as to why their design is looking the same as their competitors, or all of these designs on Dribbble, all of these designs on Behance, and so much more. So I understand as soon as you get started, you want to use as many as free resources as you can. And in today's day and age, there are plenty of free resources out there. Just make sure to upgrade as soon as you can, because number one, that will make your designs look much more professional. And number two, it will stand out from the crowd because you're using these premium resources. So I aligned some of the resources most commonly used by designers right here, and I'm going to show you some quick differences between free and premium versions. So to get started, what I have lined up right here is Envato Elements, which is my tool of choice, and I'm going to explain why in just a second. So basically it has everything you could ever possibly need, from stock video, video templates, music, sound effects, graphic templates, graphics, presentations, photos, fonts, add-ons, web templates like WordPress themes, and much more, including 3D and courses. So to get started, we're going to start with free images, and of course Unsplash is everybody's favorite free website. So the trouble with Unsplash, as I explained many times throughout my courses and some of these YouTube videos, is the choice. So for example, you want to show on your client's web page this scene. For example, they are creating a website for these bicycles, for example, and when you click, you have this nice image. And for example, let's say that you just want to sell this bicycle, and you say, okay, this image is fine. Let's quickly browse this photographer and explore all of these additional images. So as you can see, there aren't any. It's just that single image. So obviously there are some different images like these, but for example, if you want especially images of people, they are really extremely hard to find. So if you take a look at some mockups, for example, so let me search, I don't know, let's say MacBook, and see some images from MacBooks. Let's say that I really like, for example, let's say, or let's use laptop, even better. And let's say that I really like, for example, this image. So when I click on it and click on the photographer, first of all, I have to browse through all of these different images from these photographers and waste my time a lot. And as you can see, I cannot find really, except for this one, for example, and this one. But the trouble is, for example, in a lot of these, you are going to notice that a scene is completely different. So in this one, if I open it up in a new tab, and this one that we originally compared with, you can see that this is a really dark scene with a really harsh light, and there are some really dark shadows on this computer, while on this everything is really light and airy. It's in completely different scene. You can see that this table and this background is completely different than this one. So straight away we have the issue of consistency, because if we take these two images and put them on our website for our client, everybody is going to notice the differences between these two. So if I keep scrolling down, you can see that that's basically it. So this entire profile, and we have two of these completely different images for the same product from the same photographer. So that's really the major issue of consistency and of the amount of these different angles and images that you can find. Obviously for some of them, like this Dell XPS, and you can see that it's sponsored, so when I click right there you can see that Dell is providing these images. But even with this, you can see that, for example, let's say I want to use this exact image but with different angles. For example, this person is drinking coffee, this person is looking at this exact laptop in this exact scene from some of these different angles, and you're going to notice that I cannot find that at all. And you can see that this is sponsored. This is Dell themselves providing these really high quality images to us to download for free, but I still don't have enough choice to choose from these images. Also, the quality of these images will vary massively. So for example, I suggest that this is really high quality image because it looks like it is, but a lot of the times you're going to download 1920 by 1080 images, and perhaps your client really likes that image and wants it to be in print, for example, so you need high quality version, you're stuck. So basically what I would recommend is to use websites like these. This is powered by Envato. So as soon as you get Envato Elements subscription, you're going to get access to 20 million of these different images. Or is it 50? It's 50 million of these additional photos. And what's great about it is photographers are going to provide you with all of these different categories. So let's say that you're working on a website for baking. Here it is. You have 862 photos, so you don't have to browse. You can simply click right there, and when it opens you can see all of these different images. So let's say I want to use this one. You can click on it. You have all of these different sizes. So for example, if you really want a quick image to use on your mobile designs, for example, you can click right here and download this small version, or if you want a really large one, you can download it right there. You can add it to collection, you can download the collection, and you can see right here how many of these different images in exactly the same setup. So this is what I was saying earlier, exactly the same setup, exactly the same lighting, exactly the same photographer, exactly the same models, exactly the same look and feel, coherency, and the amount of overall of these images. So basically you can use these images in your project, basically simply add them to the collection like I showed you, download them all, and simply go through with your client about what they like from these images. So basically that's the main difference between free and premium resources. It's the amount of these resources that you can use, quality, and also consistency, which is also the key to creating great designs. So if we go back to this website and let's look at fonts, of course everybody knows about Google Fonts, and these free fonts are always there. Here it is, Roboto, because they are using it in the Android operating system, and of course Open Sans, Lato, and I'm really guilty of these because I'm using these free Google Fonts all the time, especially on my channel and on my courses, because I really want you guys to get started as soon as possible with these designs without wasting too much time. But it's a completely different story when you want to work with your clients. I would really recommend that you guys use premium fonts because, once again, same like with images, these premium fonts are going to differentiate your designs and make them look much more professional and much more polished than all of these other designers who are using just these free fonts. So what is the option? I really recommend that you guys use Creative Market because these guys really are the expert when it comes to these fonts, and you can also get these font bundles. In majority of these cases, you can see over 200 fonts, for example, for just $29. You can license them really easy and then get started with these fonts. So basically you can use these premium looking fonts for just, for example, $29 for the pack, or even smaller prices. So for example, $9, $12, and so much more. So once again, Creative Market, I really recommend it, and I will also leave the links down in the description below to all of these websites I'm speaking about. So even if you didn't know about, for example, Unsplash, I will leave the link down below so you guys can check it out. Next, for the icons, we have material design icons, and these icons are made by Google. They're really great, and there are many different packs out there which are coming with these free icons. So I would really recommend that you guys use them when you get started, but as soon as you move on, I would really recommend, for the same reasons I already mentioned for all of these resources, that you move on to premium resources like Flat Icon, for example. They have their pricing right here. You can check it out if you want to. And the key reason is you can see that creators are creating all of these different packs So you can see inside of this pack, for example, we have design thinking icon pack, and all of these icons look really coherent, because trouble with these icons is as soon as I flip right here, outline, rounded, two-tone, for example, you can see how they look like. So there is some color, but not for all of these icons. For example, not for this one, not for this one, not for this one, or this one, and so much more. But with these packs, you get all of these different options. Usually what you're going to get is these colored icons alongside the outline icons, alongside with filled, with thick borders, and so much more. So I really encourage you, as soon as you level up, as soon as you get some money, grab these premium resources like flat icon, for example, for the icons themselves. Finally, what I want to show you are illustrations, which are key and important feature of every new design out there, because illustrations alongside 3D are really the trend which I'm seeing over the past few years. So this is on Draw, and I really have no doubt in my mind that you saw at least one of these illustrations, because this creator, Katarina, I think it's her name, created these beautiful illustrations and gave them away for free. You also have a plugin inside of Adobe XD called Undraw, which you can use. But once again, the trouble with this one is same as with the fonts, as with icons, images, everybody's using them. So you can see them in every single design out there. So as soon as you start using them, your designs are going to look exactly the same as all of these other designs. So what I would really recommend you guys is to check out some premium resources. Once again, same like all of these. And you can also check out Free Pick, and you have all of these different illustrations. You can obviously divide them by categories. You have all resources right here. So you have free and premium. Free is great if you want to check it out, but you have to license them. Same thing goes for felt icon. If you're using some of these free items, you have to license them back to flat icon. So as soon as your clients start using them online, and if everybody from these websites, if anybody from these websites notices that they are using resources from these websites without a license, they can get into legal trouble. So I would urge you to avoid that and try to use premium resources as soon as you can. So once again, Free Pick is great. And let's say that I want to use, let's say, I don't know, car illustration. Press enter and see what I have here. So you can sort by styles, you can sort by categories. You see all of these different styles, from PNGs to SVGs to PSDs to AI files. You have all of these different styles, from these really detailed ones to these really basic ones. And you can see that the amount is really huge, 477 different pages for car illustrations. Also, one last thing I want to mention is never, ever, ever use any of these from Google Images. Never, because you never know what kind of licenses that do these files have, and you never know when you're going to get into legal trouble with creators of these assets. So just imagine I'm creating an illustration, I'm putting it on my website, somebody else takes it and makes it available for download. You download it, that I have the legal way to get to you by lawsuit, and I can take you down in the court of law. So just make sure to understand that this is really no joke. This is really not a game. When you're using free resources, make sure to always familiarize yourself with these licenses and how these licenses work, just to make sure to understand that you can use it for free in your client work. Because sometimes these websites are giving you these resources if you follow these rules. So let me show you a really quick example of what I mean. So if we go down here to flat icon, let's go to home page and let's choose one icon. Let's use menu, for example, like this. And you're going to notice that you can download all of these. So when I click right here and click SVG, for example, you can see with premium download, no attribution required, but with free download, you have to do this. You have to follow these rules in order for you to be able to use this. And you can see it's by pixel perfect. So you have to attribute this creator. So what this means for you in basic terms, if you decide to use this icon on your client's website, then they will have to provide the link back to this icon because you used it for free. Otherwise, they have the legal right to sue you because you used it, and to sue your client because they have it on their website. So just make sure to familiarize yourself with all of these licenses before you start using these free resources. And as I said, with premium resources, you don't really have that issue because you're creating these licenses for your clients to use, and they can use it unlimited number of times. So let's go back and explore Envato Elements, because Envato Elements has the best value for money out there because they have all of these different categories. So they have images, they have fonts, they have icons, and they have illustrations, and basically it's extremely easy to license all of them. Plus they have all of these additional things, as I said, from WordPress, CMS templates, 3D, and they have also these free files that you guys can check it out. How can you use them? For example, let's say I want to use car, press enter, and simply see what it comes up with. So it shows you photos and results and the amount of results for each of these. Photos, stock video, sound effects, graphics, 3D, so you can use these cars in 3D, graphic templates, so from flyers to these YouTube templates to website templates, logos and so on, presentations, video templates, WordPress themes, fonts, so you can see different fonts resembling the car logos, for example, and stuff like that, web templates, so HTML and stuff like that, CMS templates, and finally add-ons, usually for Photoshop or for Illustrator. So you can see with just one search results, we have 121,000 different results that you can use. Let's go with graphics. So if I click right there, you can go to graphics, and for example, we have this illustration, and you can see in which file types it comes, which is also one other thing I didn't mention is the amount of file types. So when you're downloading free resources, for example, icons, usually they will come in something like PNG and just PNG, or just JPEG, or just EPS. You can see that with this, you have all of these different file types that you can use, and you can see dimensions almost 8K size, so really huge if you want to use it. Finally, how can you download it? When you have the premium license like I do, you can add it to collection, and you can click download right here and simply add it to whatever project you have. And let's say that YouTube project, because I just want to create this new project. Click create project and simply add and download. And that's it. It's going to start downloading right here. You're going to see it. There it is, 3.5 megabytes and extremely huge. And you can also click right here to check out this creator for all of these other illustrations, for example, and you can see same style, so you can use them on your website, and really massive amount of choice. You can see 5 different pages. So you can see how extremely simple that is. I can move on, and for example, I want to use these car icons. Let's say I really like them, AI, SVG, PNG, so extremely great. Click download. Here is my YouTube project. Click on it, add and download. It's going to start downloading. And what's great about it is usually these websites, at least some of them, like UI8 does, for example, are going to allow you to download a certain amount of these resources per day, per week, or per month. With Envato Elements, that's great thing about it. You don't have any limit. You can download basically the entire website today if you want to, as soon as you have this premium account. What also happens if you want to use the same resource twice, so let's say that one part of your project is to create a website design, then you can license it there. If you want exactly the same item, like these car icons, for example, for the mobile design later, then you can create a separate project or license it again in this same project, so your client is covered. So if you want, you can check it out. I will leave the links down below to all of these websites I was talking about. And one final thing which I want to mention is 2020 itself. So if I go back to Envato Elements, and let's say I want to choose photos, so here it is. If I go all the way down, you can see that they have all of these additional things included. So they have Envato Market, Envato Studio, Envato Tots Plus for the tutorials and courses, Placeit for the mockups, and Milkshake for all of these graphics, plus 2020 for the photos. So you're getting all of these different resources which I just mentioned when you purchase Envato Elements, and you can use it unlimited number of times as long as you are subscribed. When you go to 2020, how the licensing works is because your profile is connected with Envato Elements. So let's say that I want to use, I don't know, adventure selfies, and I want to use just first image which comes right here. So for example, I don't know, let's use this one. Let's say when I want to download it, which is large, I can simply add to collection. As I said, I can add to my favorites, or I can click download and confirm download, and that's basically it. Because you have Envato Elements and you connected it with the 2020, and it's the same story with all of these other websites which I mentioned, then you can easily download it and you can easily browse between all of these different websites and simply switch between them. So as I said, Placeit, for example, and Milkshake for the graphics, Tots Plus for the tutorials and courses. You can link all of them with this same website, and you can easily browse between all of these different categories, choose what you like, create projects, and simply download. So that's it for this video. I really hope you got some value in it. If you did, make sure to press that like button. I upload new videos every single week on design, passive income techniques, motivation, and more. If you don't want to miss that, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. And I really hope you got some value out of this one. Take care.